she's supposed to be an expert or but it's not B for you counseling. I thought it was when they asked me.
Yeah.
He's just very,
They want to let the legislation, that's what's coming up.
Staff likes him. It's a lot of fun.
I think we only need to practice this on the 3 hours.
I don't think I can live forever.
Well, I think it's gonna be like any other flu virus.
Turn in the corner and we see it dipping.
Yes.
I think that's a good sign.
This was a flu virus, basically, no, but it was a cold.
Yeah.
True, that's true.
But if you treated it, think of it.
Good morning.
Each year.
Good morning.
Good morning. Just the flu.
Okay, this is Cynthia Newbill. I'm sorry, I'm trying to get signed in.
Remember, this one was 510.
Can you hear us okay, Dr. Newell?
This was it.
So,
Good morning.
Very deadly, wasn't it?
yes, that's why.
Very
I'm doing it.
Hey, Sean.
Right, very deadly.
Dr. Newbill, can you hear us?
Well, 10 times.
Oh, you were?
Yes, I can. Yes, I can.
One shot.
Ms. Page, can you hear
Can you hear
us?
me?
I heard, Dr. Newbill.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you, Dr. Newbill. Thank you very much. We're having a hard time connecting with Mrs. Page.
Yeah, so.
Okay, you can hear me. I
We
can.
can do this.
Did you say yes?
That's so good.
Okay, thank you.
Emergency order running through December.
Is that right?
Okay, I think we can start. Are we streaming?
Yes, we are streaming.
Call to order this October 4th meeting of the Executive Committee of the Richmond Regional Transportation Planning Organization. Ms. Firestone, do we have a quorum?
So we do.
Well, any amendments to our agenda this morning?
I didn't receive an agenda. Have one. Yes, and to be handed in over there.
That's it? Yes.
I received the usual minutes, but I don't receive the executive committee ones. So.
We'll look into that, figure out what happened. My apologies.
Yes, Ms. Davis.
Mr. Peterson won't be here today. Sean Davis in for Mr. Peterson from Hanover.
He let me know that he was going to be here this morning, that you would be filling in his stead. So
Oh, yeah.
welcome.
Yes.
So I don't hear any motions to amend our agenda. Motion for approval of our September 2nd, 2021 Executive Committee meeting minutes.
So moved. Second, Mr. Chairman.
Any discussion on the motion? May I have a roll call?
Yes. Town of Ashland, Mr. Hodges.
Aye.
Charles City County, Mr. Cota. We don't have him here, so I didn't, I'm sorry. Chesterfield County, Mr. Holland.
Here.
Hanover County, Mr. Davis.
Abstain, not present for the meeting.
Henrico County, Ms. O'Bannon.
They're short. I approve. Okay.
New Kent County, Ms. Page. She still can't hear us. Ms. Page, can you hear us?
Yeah, this is the other problem. It's reading remotely.
Powhatan County, Chair Williams.
All right.
City of Richmond, Ms. Newbill.
Aye.
I'm sorry. Ms. Page.
Aye, did you hear me?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Chair. That concludes the roll call.
Thank you, ma'am. This brings us to our open public comment period. This time, please come forward. Please give your name, your address. We'll allow you 3 minutes. If you represent an organization, we'll allow you 5 minutes. Not seeing anyone come forward, I'll close the open public comment period. And moves us to the chair's report. I only have one thing to share with you. And again, that's our transportation forum that's coming up on November 4th. It's hard to believe we're into October already, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
I don't know about y'all, but I'm enjoying this fall weather. Looking forward to more of it. But anyway, Please try to attend. I think staff is going to have a pretty exciting agenda for you. It should be an interesting morning. And it's an excellent facility. And if you're a golfer, Mr. Gift Breed, who is the owner, has extended an invitation for you to play the par 3 as his guest. So that concludes my report. Secretary's report.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. We have just a brief update, and I'd asked Ms. Heater to join in if there's any additional information. We are working with both the CBTA and the Plan RVA Board to address virtual public engagement and kind of the overall messaging for the TPO and the Plan RVA and the CBTA. As you know, over the past month or two, we've had discussions in all of the different bodies about better ways to tell the story of who we are and how each of the boards and commissions work better together. So we are moving forward with a purchase of some mobile public engagement tools, better sound system, upgraded computer, AV equipment that can be used by all three organizations. It'll be set up for this room, but knowing that the lease is up next year, it will be movable in the event that we don't stay in this location. But it should be a huge addition and a help for all three organizations as we try and get more out into the community and tell the story of who we are and how we can better work together. So I think aside from that, we are working towards the fall forum, and one of the topics there is who are we and what are we doing and what kind of contribution has this organization made to the community. And I had a great discussion with Ms. Heater last week about possibly, I think we're going to shift the agenda a little bit to set up a couple panels where there's a moderator and some question and answer that'll allow a good general discussion of the work that the TPO does and how it works with the CBTA and Plan RVA.
So that's why I was going to make sure you were going to.
Yes, sir. So that's a similar vein to the public engagement that we're talking about now.
Sounds good. That takes us to a review of the agenda topics today. Again, Mr. Parsons, would you take us through that?
Yes, sir. Happy to. The 9:30 meeting is a big one. As you are aware, we've shifted the meeting to this morning rather than our regular Thursday meeting. And the reason for that is on Wednesday, the existing long-range transportation plan expires. So on the agenda for this consideration this morning is adoption of our new long-range transportation plan, Connect RPA 2045. This will put this new plan in place. And as you know, we've been working on it for almost 2 years now. And it's I'm partial to it, but I think it's a big improvement over the previous one, the existing one. And it really sets the stage for a lot of great collaboration, not just with TPO members, but with the CBTA as well, and providing some assistance to decision-making on that, in that authority. So that's the big item on the agenda this morning. We'll have an update. I'll provide an update during that item about our final public review period, the last 30 days from August 15th to September 15th, and give you an overview of what the comments were that we received and any suggested changes and updates that we're giving as part of that public review period. And the action request will be to adopt the long-range transportation plan. There are 2 TIP amendments that are on the agenda as well. The first is a interchange justification report for Route 288. This is a amendment that is, I believe it's just south of, it's for a new assessment of a new interchange between Tuckahoe Creek and Broad Street. So just below Broad Street, there isn't anything there now. Would provide better access to some of the development that's going on.
Oh, wait a minute, that was, I'm sorry, go over that again because I thought it had been removed.
Page 56 of our regular chapter. 56, yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. We'll give you a lot more information, including we have we can share a.
That's an amendment of removing it, right? Is that it?
No, this is a study that assesses the need for a new interchange.
No, I can't look for that. I'm sorry, can you go over that again? Because I thought that had. In Goochland, right?
In Goochland, yes, ma'am.
It doesn't come across Tuckahoe Creek now.
No,
No,
no.
Okay.
It's
that
north.
was-
It's north of Tuckahoe Creek. It doesn't.
Okay, because that was the one that I was very careful about.
Correct. Yes. This isn't near that. It's north
it's
of
not
there.
connecting you with Rock Road.
All right, just in Goochland.
Yeah, we can provide I think we have a
Picture.
plan sheet that we can show where the location is.
All right, because I had
on 3D.
meetings on that. Sorry for my.
And this is just this is a planning study to assess the need for a new interchange. The next tip amendment is for Henrico County. And this is looking at preliminary engineering right-of-way construction for I-64 westbound and Perham Road interchange improvements. So this is something that came to us from VDOT and is
This is the one.
is on the books,
I
and
see it.
we're asking for, so the background on this one is September of this year, the Commonwealth Transportation Board took action to approve the I-95 and I-64 CIPs and add those recommended projects to the 6-year improvement program. So in order to begin the PE phase for this project, it needs to be added to the tip very quickly. So that's why it got put on the agenda today, so that PE can begin on schedule.
This is a really bad intersection. When you come off the interstate, 90% of people go across 3 lanes of traffic to get to a left turn lane. It's going to help give them a little bit more distance and then better turning into that so that you can turn left. I mean, it's one of those intersections that probably should have been some kind of flyover, but it's still, this is better.
Yes, and we can, Mr. Bushing can provide more information on additional questions. So the long range plan, the 2 tip amendments, and then there is in addition to the agenda for GRTC has requested support from the TPO in a grant application that they are submitting for the TRIP program. This is an application to DRPT, and this is a request for the TPO to show its support for them applying for additional DRPT funds. And Ms. Tim will be here and can provide background on that request and the significance of the support. But this is very similar, if you remember, when there are TA applications, transportation and enhancement funds, the TPO usually provides letters of support for those applications. Very similar type of process, and this is direct support for GRDC. And then we have our agency updates from VDOT and DRPT and future meeting topics. That'll be questions to adjournment.
Thank you, Mr. Parsons. Any questions for Mr. Parsons? If not, we'll move to, yes, Mr. Hodges.
Just briefly, Mr. Chairman, for the good of the order, I wonder if on the agenda, the wording interchange justification report could have been added. I had no idea what IJR was. That would be helpful for those of us who scan the agenda without necessarily knowing.
Here's the
to
picture.
that. And then Henrico, just a project, I think Barham Road, something for each recognizing sometimes it's a series. Just to say to Henrico, it's not as informative perhaps to the public. It'd be more helpful to mention the project. It's just comments, suggestions. Thank you for listening.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Brings us to other business. Any member comments?
I just have
Ms.
a
O'Bannon?
question. When you receive comments from people, I know most of them come in as what, email? Is that,
It varies now. It's all different
and what
formats.
what other ways do they comment? Is that, I mean, do people call you on the phone and talk to somebody, or do people make videos or send it in? or-
Typically, we don't get phone calls. That's really not, it doesn't happen much anymore. We get direct emails from constituents and stakeholder groups. We get comments submitted on our website, either the Plan RVA website or in the case of the long range plan, we had the specific long range plan website. So 2 different ways for people to fill out a form and hit submit on the website. During our public meetings, we got written comments. So we brought those in and scanned them in, and those are in your packet today. I think that's typically the way we do it. We get a lot of verbal comments. We ask folks to write those down when we're just talking to somebody in conversation. But it's hard to put that on the record if we don't have something written. So.
Okay, I still have a lot of people with no computer. I know this is hard to know or understand, but I was just wondering if there's a phone number available to call, because I've been asked that, is there a phone number? I guess they didn't call. The other is, I've received information from people where they videotape the opposite end of it. They videotape themselves, with their cell phone, apparently, you can tell that, and send that in as a comment. And I think it's to show me how mad they are. So I was just wondering, how you got your comments, how compelled they are to do it and how strongly they feel or whatever.
Sure. That's an interesting point you raised. Do you get those? Can I ask? Do you get those by email? When people send videos, how do those get transmitted? We haven't received anything like that.
I've had them text me something and I click on it and it's a video.
Okay.
I'm trying to think because I've gotten a few, but it's been because they're very upset about a plan.
Sure.
A zoning case. But usually it's text, and I hesitate to click on it because obviously I don't know what I'm clicking on, but because it comes from a person's name and I happen to know them, I'll click on them. But people sending comments, I was just wondering how they learned that, because usually they have one thing they're really anxious about or something like that. I was just wondering, just curious. Okay.
Okay, any other member comments this morning? If not, our next meeting is again the transportation forum at the Independence Call Center on November 4th. I believe we're getting started at 9 a.m. Is that correct?
I believe that's correct. Well, we'll send out our
Put it on
videos.
my Facebook.
Okay, please. So I will adjourn our executive committee meeting this morning.
When they put it on Facebook, that's another way I've gotten some.
We do get comments on social
You
media.
get them on social media. Okay.